There are three certainties in life, ladies and gentlemen: death, taxes, and EA closing studios. Now, this is a unique case because normally EA mandates some changes from a long-running franchise, and then after that game very reasonably flops, that's normally when they end up closing studios. But this time around, with Cliffhanger Games and the Black Panther game that they announced a couple years back, this is something that has yet and will apparently never come to market. And I find this, once again, a very unique situation, because this is, once again, just something that should be a slam dunk, like a Black Panther game. You say, like, outside of just the whole revisionist history about those MCU movies, like, none of them are good, okay? Both Black Panther movies are absolute garbage, but he's an interesting character with a moveset that is tailor-made for a third-person action game. Like, this should be a slam dunk. But then again, also earlier this year, a Wonder Woman game should have been a slam dunk, but Monolith Studios ended up closing down, and that game got cancelled. And here we have Cliffhanger Games, which is a brand new studio that was just founded alongside the announcement of this game. It gets shut down. The Black Panther game goes on ice. And EA, runs their third round of layoffs this year. But it's also funny because I don't know if it's in this report or if it was in another one that I seen, but at this point last year, EA employed 800. I think it was 800 fewer people. Regardless, they employ more people right now than they have last year, even with all of these layoffs going on right now, because they got a big old Battlefield game that's coming out, and for whatever reason, what is it, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going through this giant resurgence. Like, nobody can quite figure out exactly why it is, but I digress. EA has a lot of plans. They got a lot of things in motion, and next week with Summer Games Fest, they're supposed to be there, so we'll probably see some sort of movement, maybe on Skate. I've been hearing some weird things about that one behind the scenes, and there's a lot of moving parts to EA, and they've been awfully quiet in the past few years. So I kind of think they're about to make some moves here. Okay, so EA is canceling its planned Black Panther game and shutting down developer Cliffhanger Games. Okay, in an email sent to staff from EA Entertainment President Laura Miele, Miele said that these changes, alongside our recent cancellations and layoffs, are being done to sharpen our focus and put our creative energy behind the most significant growth opportunities. Figure out ways that we can go ahead and bleed our customer base dry with, hey, that gameplay, for Battlefield, Battlefield looks exceptionally good. It's just, how can we institute loot boxes in a way that it won't piss everybody off when the game first launches? Can we figure out how to optimize the amount of money we can charge for skins? Can we do that? How many battle passes can we wring out of this? Can we have a Warzone alike aspect to this that we can monetize in perpetuity? Can we go ahead and do that? In addition to closing Cliffhanger and canceling Black Panther, EA is also laying off some individuals on both its mobile and central teams, which I'd imagine, I don't know for sure how big their mobile and whatever central teams are. So what? Some people that were bouncing around from team to team, but now that you're going to be restructuring and moving people around, they aren't quite so important anymore. Okay, whatever. When asked for an exact number of individuals impacted, EA declined to comment. Okay, IGN understands the total number of affected individuals in this wave is less than the roughly 300 roles cut last month across Respawn and EA's fan care teams, but cannot confirm by how much. Which, honestly, when we last talked about that was Respawn saying, we have a game that's in development and we're laying some people off. But one of the games that we kind of had in development potentially, no, definitely don't say anything about Titanfall 3. It's not Titanfall 3, maybe it is, but that game's not going to be happening anymore. We're going to be focusing more on Apex Legends and an upcoming Star Wars Jedi, I don't know, man, Kyle Katarn game. No, not Kyle Katarn. Cal Kestis, that's the name. Real Star Wars, right? Because that's not Andor, because it's good. But I'm not going to... Respawn used to be something, right? Because that was the people that, made the Call of Duty games what they were. Then they set up a studio. They made Titanfall 2, and some generally good games. But now that's not quite the studio that they were back in the cut. So to see them lose some people, to see them cancel a project, it's kind of an addition by subtraction, because you would like to go ahead and maintain those memories, and you would like to keep the Titanfall franchise as one good game and one good concept for a game, as opposed to, stapling on something with heavy-handed trans allegory and how we can go ahead and make big gay robots. I'm glad that Titanfall 3 isn't happening. Not because I don't want it to happen, it's because it wouldn't be good. And so with news of the Black Panther game getting canceled, I mean, it's probably good too, because a Black Panther, like, he's a cool character, man. Like, as a video game character, I remember him. Was he in, I forget which Marvel Ultimate Alliance game. He might have been in both of them, but he was at least in one of them, and he was a fun character to have on your team as well. And that's where I have the most exposure to him. But in the MCU and in the modern video game landscape, we know exactly what he would be used to push. And yeah, thanks, but no thanks. And especially the people that were working on this game, the fact that they just got shit canned, it's a beautiful thing. It really is, because the Black Panther game canceled by EA team included former Sweet Baby Inc. developer who bragged about not hiring white people. Oh no, that's just so tragic. But announced in 2023 as part of EA's multi-game deal with Marvel, the title had been in early development with no gameplay footage ever released. Wow, its cancellation comes amid escalating controversy surrounding members of the development team and wider corporate restructuring within EA. Okay, this move adds to a growing list of licensed games being abandoned as major publishers rethink their strategies, and in this case, I may have also been influenced by reputational concerns. And a memo obtained by staff, obtained by IGN, yes. Laura Millet, announced the studio's closure, blah, 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 all that crap. But yeah, let's fast forward to this bundle of joy with her stupid little hog ring in her nose, okay? Public scrutiny around the project intensified following the hiring of Danny Landlers, whatever, that sounds like an appropriated last name, Lalanders. I wonder which tribe that name is a derivative of. An associate, third time's the charm, narrative a designer and former Sweet Baby Inc. contributor. Wow, in a resurfaced 2021 panel discussion from the game developers of Color Expo, Lalanders, okay, put some respect on that name, bragged about having no white developers working on her indie game Validate. Oh, wonderful. Validate has like a team of people of color. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. I mean, yeah, I guess, okay, you wanted to keep the white people out of there because you take a look at crime statistics, but then you realize that the second most violent group down there, it's certain game developers against certain game developer anyways. She further explained that her decision stemmed from concerns over potential microaggressions and workplace conflicts. Oh no. Critics pointed to some of the comments as discriminatory, and attention on Lalanders grew after she appeared to double down on similar views in recent social media posts. In one archived exchange on X, Lalanders responded to a critic by admitting she is being prejudiced and defiantly asking, "So now what?" She later claimed that comment was somehow taken out of context. Yes, of course, just the common rejoinder of an idiot. The backlash grew further when Alexa Ray Correa, or Correa? Yeah, okay. Starting to see a pattern here. We got an Alexa, we got a Danny. Weird. A senior writer on the game appeared to endorse a viral post by former Kotaku senior editor and current expert in putting fries in bags, Alyssa Mercante, that read, "I don't support all gamers. Most of you are bigots." Correa replied, "I need this on a shirt." Now you can go ahead and sell those on a street corner. Sucks to suck, I guess. But yeah, something I think we're going to talk about over the weekend is, yeah, there's still people that were fired because of the obvious failure of Dragon Age the Veilguard going out there and rattling their, cans with their couple of nickels in it and half-hearted attempt to get a little bit more traction and to get a little bit more attention in hopes that, I don't know, somebody will try to rescue them from the consequences of their own actions. But yeah, BioWare has been gutted. Cliffhanger Games just got shut down, and Respawn, okay, you take a look at the people that are left over there, they also kind of know that they're going to be on their last legs. Respawn developer says morale at an all-time low. Yeah, because the AAA industry is actively collapsing. Like, we've seen this time and time again. The only things that are really getting traction right now are sequels, requels, remasters, and remakes. Like, that's about it, okay? Like, the Elden Ring spinoff right now is just absolutely crushing, and it looks like it's going to be doing massive numbers over the weekend because people have big brand loyalty to FromSoft. And the fact that I don't think that game's on any subscription service off-rip means that FromSoft is going to be making big money this weekend. Congratulations to them for giving the people what they want. And what are the other big games that have come out this year? All right, the Oblivion remaster, and we'll probably be talking a little bit more about, something about that development team as it goes on, but that was a reduced priced game that came out. That was essentially a reskinned 2006 project, Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It was a low enough price game where people can go ahead and take a flyer on something that is very likely going to end up being a many people and many outlets game of the year, justifiably so from what I've seen. But you have indie leading with innovation. You have a major studios seeing somewhat success when it comes to just repackaging old products, and then you have the rest of the industry caught in the middle, knowing that, oh god, our next game is very likely to be our last game, because these budgets are enormous, and because they're spending so much money, $200-300 million on a project, they cannot afford to derivate that much. Their publishers believe that they can't take too many risks because there's too much money involved in these productions, because, well, I would argue that there's far too much bloat at these AAA companies. Like, the fact that EA can lay off, I don't know, man, just this year, like 1,000+ people, and it not really making a dent in anything, kind of lets you know there's far too many people that are out there. But the fact that they can just shit can games wholesale, like, I think it's perfectly surmised right here. And this is one half of the other aspect where, yeah, the AAA gaming space is pretty much collapsing in front of our very eyes. There's obviously going to be some high points that are out there, but this is, okay, just another example. And I think we're really going to have this driven home to us this July. The superhero thing, yeah, it's kind of over, dudes. Okay, Wonder Woman canceled, Black Panther canceled, no talk of Wolverine since that hack. We might see something, maybe, because Insomniac's been working on that in the background for a minute, so we might see something out of that. I wouldn't be surprised if we did at Summer Games Fest next week, so that could be. That's possible. Okay, got to keep that out there. And then, yes, the Captain America and Black Panther World War II game. Thought I seen that, like, that popped up earlier this week. So when this news came out, it's like, oh, they canceled that game? That's weird. And I totally forgot this one ended up getting announced back then. But okay, yes, that game ended up also getting pushed back. So I guess that's when it popped through the news cycle earlier this week. And whatever the fuck is going on with Spider-Man 3. Oh, right, yeah, because Spider-Man 2 didn't really hit the same way that Spider-Man 1 did. But yeah, what exactly is going on? Unless it's a legacy title, okay? Because Capcom releasing their Marvel collection with MVC2, X-Men v Street Fighter, Children of the Atom, all that stuff that was in that package right there. That did relatively well, but that was also a budget title of very old, it was just old ports, right? When it comes to asking for a full-priced game based on characters that have had irrevocable brand damage thanks to the MCU and the way that they've been portrayed. And in the case of Wonder Woman being played by one of the most wooden actresses in Hollywood history, it kind of lets you know the future of the superhero genre in entertainment. Yeah, we're kind of getting to that sippy part of the juice box now that your straw can't fully get to the bottom of. It's just about done. I think July is going to drive that home, because you take a look at the video games and that industry being bigger than Hollywood, but Hollywood always being the lagging indicator. I'm a little bit concerned about Superman, but I'm very concerned about Fantastic Four, something we're going to be talking about very, very shortly. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.